Yeah, of course. So Macris Industries was founded in 2013. We're a pretty diversified technology and manufacturing company. We started out basically manufacturing circuit boards. I worked in the LED industry before starting this company. So I knew a lot about LED lighting. I grew up on boats. I knew I wanted to do something boat and marine related. So we started hand building circuit boards in 2013. Started in a basement of my buddy's house, and we just built it organically from there. We came out with our first product that summer, and then very quickly kind of grew in the recreational and consumer market in America. And over the last 3-4 years, we've just been releasing new products. We started with underwater lighting, and from underwater lighting, we went to utility, harsh environment lighting, and then released a control system, a wireless control system for all that. And now this year, we are releasing our superyacht light. So this year we brought our new through-hull gland that we're releasing. We typically make underwater lights for smaller boats, and everyone said you need to make these for big boats because our lights are different in that they're flat panel. They're very, very thin flat panel, and they're linear. So it removes all the hot spots that you see on, the super yachts with all the underwater lights going around it. So the flat panel allows us to get unbroken light around a vessel. So when people saw it for small boats, they said, you need to do it for yachts. You have to do it for super yachts, because everyone was so tired of that Christmas tree light. So we said, all right, let's do it. But the big boat said it's got to be class approved. Got to get this thing Lloyd's approved and meet with everyone. And it took us 2 years just to find a gland, and we couldn't. We went to every manufacturer. We said, do you make a gland? Everyone said no. So we designed and engineered our own, and this year we've been meeting with every big builder, showing them our gland, why it's different, explaining why it's different, and hoping to incorporate it into not only new builds but also refit work in 2018 and 2019 onward. This is our standard underwater light. This was the size format that we first introduced in 2013. We call it our 12-inch light. It uses a 12-inch light engine. The actual overall size is 14 inches. So this is kind of our bread and butter. And it's a great unit. They're very, very thin. They're flexible. They're super bright. There's no air inside of this. It's completely laminated, which is what makes it very, very different than the standard round. I'm sure you've seen the standard round underwater lights. So we knew that this would be fantastic for super yachts because we can build them very big. But like I said, we needed an approved penetration through the hull, and we couldn't find anyone that made one. So we went to the drawing board and designed our own. This is designed around a very high pressure threads form standard with O-ring. The whole thing comes apart and is serviceable from both sides of the boat. So if this is the boat hull, here's your weld line right here. And the device, whether it is our underwater light or an underwater camera or a sonar or anything that has to be outside the hull, under the water on the boat, the device would mate with this plug, essentially. So this plug can be machined into the back of a device if it's a bronze or stainless or aluminum piece. There's 2 O-rings here that seal on the inside of this housing. Or you can use this as an adapter plug, which is what we're using. Our light will have essentially a cylinder that seals inside of here. Then the electrical connection is made internal to that. So if there ever was a failure or it got hit or anything happened on the outside of the boat, it can be removed or replaced without having to haul the boat or put it in a dry dock. From the inside, let's say you end up replacing a camera that goes bad or gets damaged. Once you replace it, you send a diver down, he can replace it. You can then service it from the inside of the vessel. So this is the safety cap on the inside, which is also high pressure rated. This comes off, and then you have a compression ring, like a lock ring, internal to this. This comes out. And then you're left with the mating side of your electrical connection. So this is just a contact plug, but you can use any sort of circular or square pin plug as long as it mates into this housing. So basically we would put, some sort of a bulkhead connector on this. This gets fully potted. There's an O-ring here. this whole thing sits in. That's where you make your connection. Also, it allows you from the inside of the boat, it's also sealed. So once the device is on the outside, it's sealed. So from the inside of the boat, you can open this up, look inside the connection, clean the connection if you need to, dry it out, whatever happens. Put this back in, test everything, reassemble it. You have multiple sealing sections, which is required as per Lloyd's. And then the whole thing is serviceable. So it doesn't exist. Everyone we've shown it to so far, we've shown it to a lot of the build engineers at the big builders. They think it's been very, very cool. So we're just finishing up the bit of the approval, and we should be seeing them in about a year or so, getting into the market. Yeah, so on our standard product line, we've revamped everything over the years. We kind of pride ourselves in continually improving the product. So we have sort of like a continuous innovation method where every 6 months or so we'll either do a refresh or a complete, top to bottom redesign. So this is the new product for 2018. It's pretty much the first one we've built of this. So we're testing a bunch of these over the winter. It's all evolutionary. So from one design to the next, it's just minor tweaks. So we do a fair amount of testing before we release it, but because it's evolutionary, we know we can build off the experience we've had over the last, iterations into the new one. So all of our line, from our smallest light to our biggest light, is completely redone with brand new LEDs. We build everything in-house, so we have our own pick-and-place machine, reflow ovens. We build all of our own circuit boards. We do all of our mechanical assembly in-house as well. There's not a ton of people that do that, and we pride ourselves in having the ability to basically make circuit boards from scratch in-house, and it allows us to revise designs very quickly and be responsive. So if there's an issue or we see something that we don't like, we can change it quickly and respond to customers' requests, or if we need to do something custom, it allows us to have lots of custom capabilities because we build everything. So that's what we're really proud of. The last little bit of the puzzle is the control aspect of it, controlling the lights and turning everything on and off. As far as I know, we're the only people that are doing a fully dynamic underwater light. So in our color changing series, which I don't have a sample of here, each lamp has a number of pixels, and they're all in series, and each pixel talks to the next one. So we send it one data line, and as long as you link all those lights on a single data bus, which is proprietary to us, the whole thing can move and be controlled and have effects and stuff. And as far as I know, we're the only people doing that. So you can create really cool motion and movement around a boat now. And then we can link it to other channels. So our wireless control system allows us to link everything. So your underwater lights can match your undergunnel lights. So if you have, colors racing around, you can have everything do the same thing at once. It can respond to outside environmental triggers. So sunset, you can have a photocell and read, essentially, if you wanted to, you could read the light in the environment and have your underwater lights and your deck lights match the color of the sunset, or something like that. You can do all sorts of stuff. So we're really working on like the newest and the latest and the greatest, and that's our whole bag, is doing really new kind of cutting edge stuff.